Namaste. Hello, everyone. Today, I want you to get introduced to a new program that is KVPY, right? Many students are all the time, they are talking about how they talk about NEET and the IIMS examination and all. They think that it is a kind of medical examination. So I just wanted to tell you, it is a type of examination for research in pure science, right? So first thing, I just want you to understand what is KVPY examination. Because most of the time students will think that, okay, KVPY, I'm also writing. Most of the time what happens, a lot of students will apply. Everybody want to write what is KVPY. Some of them, they don't even know what is this actual examination about, right? They think it's like a medical examination, like how they do it for all India medical examination and NEET examination or PV, that is pre-medical, pre-dental examination. It is not that kind of examination, okay? So it is a kind of examination which promote the students to take up research in pure science, right? Physics, chemistry, mathematics, and biology. Basically, four subjects, right? There's a basic science. Actually, there is a lot of need for such pure science students now, because most of the time, seen everybody wants to become engineer, wants to become medical, no doctors and all. Hardly anybody is bothered, but I want to become a scientist. Scientist in the sense, most of the time they think that, okay, I will become scientist. Like it cannot happen suddenly, like you become a scientist, right? If you study any subject in depth, with in that small unit, you have to take up and do the research, right? So research is a field where you have to have a lot of involvement in that, right? It's not like reading something and accordingly you write the question answers. No, because this is the right time of 11th and 12th, they pick the students, right? And one thing, this KVPY examination is taken up by our government of science, that is Science and Technology, Department of Science and Technology, and it is run by Indian Institute of Science, IISc, Bangalore, right? So most of the time, if you have some doubts, even 10 students or still young students, you should know one thing, this is only for the science students, not anybody else. So after 10th, making decision to take up science is very important, right? I'm not saying other sections of non-science are not important. No, they may be important, but to take up something like medicine or engineering, like along with that KVPY examination, you need to be a science student. Right? So therefore, after finishing your 10th, you better take up science so that in future you have a lot of opportunities, right? Maybe in other fields you have, but I don't know much about it, right? So let's now begin with what is KVPY examination, why we have to take, what are the contents of KVPY. It's actually a kind of a program where there's a research program in which you are going to learn this, write tests. That is KVPY skill test you are going to write for all the 4 units, physics, chemistry, mathematics, and biology, right? So in this, there is a special pattern of examination. And this time, when is the exam conducted? What are the normal problems students are facing? Everything we are going to deal with that in the today's program. Okay, so just watch what is KVPY, how the program is run, what are the types of tests, what are the examinations conducted, and what is the positive marks, how many will be the negative marks, how they are going to choose the students, and what is the stipend also. They give monthly and the yearly, they'll give stipend also, how they will do it, and how to maintain the stipend what they are giving. Okay, so let us now begin with KVPY examination, a qualifying examination for KVPY. Okay, so let me show you the board where I have written some details of this examination, and let's go through that. Right. So you can see here, KVPY examination means Kishore Vaigyanik Protsahan Yojana. So what's the meaning of this? Kishore is the young adolescent students. Kishore Avastha is nothing but the young age, that is from 11th, 12th and BSc 1. Those students are eligible for this examination. It's called Kishore Vaigyanik. Vaigyanik is the scientific, right? The young students who are science students, Vaigyanik Protsahan Yojana. Protsahan means they are going to promote them. Protsahan, they are giving protsaha to the students of science, right? This is one yojana. Yojana is a program. It's a program in which science students are promoted to learn more about science. That's what is the meaning of this. It's a scientific program for the students who are young, that is from 11th, 12th and BSc, right? Those students are allowed to study science. Protsahan, Vaigyanik Protsahan Yojana, the Vijnana, that is scientific subjects, are promoted and allowed them to study in one particular sequential manner. There's a Yojana, it's a program. Okay, so that's what is KVPY, Kishore Vaigyanik Protsahan Yojana. Right now, where it is, who has done it? It has been developed by national level fellowship program by, it's a national level fellowship program. Means there will be some amount also will be provided. Fellowship program by Department of Science and Technology of India, right? Department of Science and Technology. It is promoting pure science students, right? Why this pure science is required? I'll tell you. Most of the time in Indian conditions, Indian mentality of most of the students, they are worried mostly about the technology, right? Let me become a now computer science engineering, electronic engineering, civil engineer. That's one group. Medical field, all of them they want to go to medicine. Either it's a pure medicine like MBBS or the homeopathy medicine, Ayurveda medicines, like again medicine. So these are not research programs. Research are something in depth, because you have seen so many, you have learned about a lot of scientists. They were totally dedicating themselves for scientific field, one particular subject, right? So that is not happening in India. That's what is the program. They are promoting the students to get into the research field, because you just watch any of the scientific papers right now, because before that I would like to explain who I am. I am Dr. Hemlata. I have done my MSc, MPhil and PhD. PhD I have done it from Bangalore University, from botany department. Okay, so that's why I want you to get into the research, because I've not done that great thing, but I'm telling you, anybody who wants to get into research, they will come to know that how depth you have to go to the subject, right? So depth study happens only in the research, right? And when I was doing my research, I try to get the papers, right? Research papers. A lot of research papers I used to refer it from other countries. Indian scientists are very nice, but what happened is nowadays, recently, the scientific papers by the Indians are very less. Means qualitative research has to happen in India, right? And you already know that Indian science has made a big name in the world, right? So if you get into this prestigious institute, you are going to get big name. Not only that, you really know what is research, what is the depth studies, right? So study anything in deep. Suppose I say that there is a virus, just to study a virus, virology, it's not enough, because in 10th or POC and POC 1 and 2, you would have studied anything in surface way, right? Suppose it's a virus, it has a protein coat, it has a nucleic acid, then it will be living inside the host, outside is dead. So it's like a heading like that. If you want to go to each and every, the proteins of virus, if you want to study, maybe millions of people are doing research on that. The DNA or the RNA of virus you want to study, a lot of people are working on it, right? So each unit of that, one sentence is a area for research. So research in the sense, you are going to the details of that and see how beautiful is that DNA, how many nitrogen bases are there, what is the sequence that will be affecting, what is that cause diseases. Everything is a field where you have to work out, right? There is nothing that there is no end for this, right? So that biological researchers are wonderful, right? Because I am a biologist, I don't know about other subjects. It doesn't mean that other subjects are not that beautiful. They are also beautiful unless you study them, right? So I am into the biological field, I am into the botanical field. In that again, botany, we have to work in detail. There are so many fields in that again. Plant science, you have morphology, you have cytology, you have anatomy, you have taxonomy. So many fields are there, right? So with all those fields, again in that smaller go narrow and narrow and narrow and narrow, that becomes a research, right? So therefore, if you really have that patience to sit and work for something what you contribute to the society, you should become a scientist, right? So this is the best place, best examination you can get in. Best place is in Institute of Science, where you can get in and start working on that, and you will really get a big name on that. Not only name, you will become really a great contributor to the society as a scientist. Okay, so this I can tell you because some of my students were doing earlier, because I worked for 25 years in teaching field only. So all these years, I see a lot of students, my students have gone to this Institute of Science and worked, and they become big scientists in other countries, and even in Indian conditions, Indian big scientific labs, and they're working. It's a pride for me. I feel proud of my students, right? So this is the reason why I am taking up this explanation, this information I want to give you, because this will make you at least think about this, right? So don't take up the examination because everybody is taking. It's not like a CD or something like everybody is writing. You take up it because you want to really contribute for it. Okay, so let me give you just few things about the examination. Okay, so this is the examination. Now this year's examination is conducted 31st January 2021, right? 31st January is 2021 is the examination date, right? Now what is the eligibility for this appearing for this? First thing is you should be in science stream. Second thing, you will be either 11th or first PUC. So your 11th in the sense all the time, because in Karnataka we call it the PUC first. PUC first year, PUC second year, second PUC, and BSc. BSc is the after PUC, right? PUC second year. Okay. So you are eligible for this. But in all these classes, the same exams are not conducted. For each stream, like PUC first year, different stream of different questions, different question paper. PUC second year, different question paper. BSA, different question paper. So accordingly, we write the names as SA stream, SX stream, SB stream. SA stream is for the first PUC or the 11th standard students. SX stream is for second PUC students or 12th students. SB is for BSc students, right? So three different streams are there in taking up the examination. Those who are in first PUC or 11th also are eligible in SA stream. But why our students are not doing it well? You know, one very important thing you have to remember, the syllabus when you study in this KVPY examination, in this syllabus, they have mixed up first years and second year portions together. That is the reason why our first PU students or 11th standard students are unable to take it that easily. Suppose after 10th, immediately you finish first piece syllabus, second piece syllabus at once, then it becomes easy. But that will not happen. You need to learn it in detail and complete in elaborated way. You have to study. Therefore, our first PUC students getting into the examination and clearing it is getting difficult. But once you go to second PUC or 12th standard, you will have the mixed syllabus, first PUC and second PUC. So it will be easy for you. So it's ideal to take up the examination at second PUC. But to know how is the examination, you can take up essay stream once, right? So when you are in first PUC also, you can appear for the examination to check how is the examination pattern, right? Because once you do it second time, when you write in SX stream, it becomes easy for you, right? So I want you to take up in first years only, then go to second years, but don't get disheartened, because first years, whatever syllabus we have, it has mixed with the second PUC syllabus. Therefore, you are not able to really do it wonderfully well, right? So that therefore, so you have 11th, 12th and BSc. So let us not talk about BSc because it's all the BSc stream different. So I'll talk only about 11th and 12th or first PC and second PC students. Okay, they can write this examination. Okay, now what is the aim of this? Means why they do this examination? Its aim is to test the analytical skills and the aptitude of applicants in science. Means that is the research, right? Aptitude test, and also you will identify the applicant in science, right? So that is the aim of this examination. Then who is running this? It's run by the Indian Institute of Science, IISc, Bangalore, right? So now coming to the syllabus, right? Let us talk about the syllabus. There is no special syllabus for KVPY. Understand that. There is no special syllabus for KVPY examination. It is the same syllabus what you are studying in NCERT and for NEET, right? The basics of science and little depth in NEET. Whatever you learn, that is enough, right? This syllabus is not specially separated for KVPY examination. Okay, now I'll give you what way the examination is conducted, how many marks are there, and how many, what do you call, the positive marks, how many are negative marks in the next part. Okay, so first you have this idea. Now I'll give you in the next slide how the exam is conducted. Okay, that will be in the next unit. Okay, done then. You just go through these ones. Let's continue with the KVPY examination pattern. I told you already, this is for 11th, 12th and BSc, even for MSc students also it is there. So some more information about the examinations, let's have it. First, when exam mode is online mode, there will be only online examination. What is the syllabus? I told you already, there is no separate syllabus. It is what you study in first PUC, second PUC. If you are in those classes 11th or 12th, and if you are in BSc syllabus, first year syllabus will be there. Okay, so 10, 11th, 12th BSc, even in the MSc people also can take it. What are questions? These questions are only in MCQs. Multiple choice questions are there, not a descriptive questions. They're all multiple choice based questions. Okay, having one question, 4 options. Okay, you know that well, right? Then languages, the exam is conducted in 2 languages. One is English, another one is Hindi. Not in other languages, only English and Hindi. 2 languages conducted. Even in the paper, both the questions will appear English and Hindi. English and Hindi will appear together. Okay. Then the major subjects in this are only 4: physics, chemistry, mathematics, and biology. Okay. So this is the one little information. Let's now talk about how many marks for each question, how many are deducted for wrong answers. So continuing with the question paper will be of 2 parts, part 1 and part 2. Okay, in each part, what are the ways you have to write? Let me give you. So first, part 1, 1 mark question will be avoided in the first part questions. Question paper will be 1 mark avoided for the right answer, and 0.25 mark is deducted from each wrong answers. Means, suppose you are writing 5 questions, you're answering 5, 4 you are written correct, and 1 is wrong, then all these 1 mark, 4 mark you have got already. From that 4 mark, 0.25 mark means quarter mark is deducted from that. Okay, suppose you write 4 wrong answers, 1 mark is cut. That's how it is given in the part 1. So the whole question paper is divided to part 1 and part 2. In part 1, 1 for right answer, 0.25 for the wrong answer. In part 2, 2 mark is awarded for the right answer, 0.5 mark is deducted from the wrong. So understand this. This is a very technical thing to understand. In second part, for each right answer, you will get 2 marks. Okay, good. But if you write 1 wrong, you are losing half a marks. 0.5 mark is lost. Means you are writing 4 right answers, you will get 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, 8 marks. Suppose in that 2 are wrong, Then from that you will be losing 1 mark, right? Very dangerous thing, right? So in part 2 you are getting 2 marks for every right answer, but 0.5 mark is lost for one wrong answer. So you have to be very careful while writing this, right? It is not just straight away, I'll write this also, all I'll just mark it. No, don't do that, because so many times you will go in negativity. Negative marking is too much, and very few seats are there. Lot of competitors are there, hardly around 500 exactly. I don't remember. Those seats are there. You people, you are writing like carelessly. Anything I can write it, everything I'll mark it. It's going to be big problem for you. Don't do that. So see it again in part 1, 1 mark for the right, 0.25 for wrong answer. You are deducted. Then in part 2, 2 mark for the right answer, 0.5 mark for the wrong answer. It is deducted. Okay. Next thing is, how many questions you'll get in essay stream? Essay is the 11th standard stream of the first PUC stream. You will get totally 80 questions. But in essay stream, that second PUC stream or the 12th stream, you get 120 questions totally. Then attempt part 1, you have to choose 3 sections. In part 1, you have to write answers for 3 sections. In part 2, you have to choose 2 sections. This is very technical. We have to be very careful in selecting. First part, that is in the part 1 of the paper, you have to select 3 parts, 3 sections. And in part 2, you have to select 2 sections. Okay? Right there. So once again, you go through this. Again, I'll give you how many marks and how many questions in each part. Okay. You can observe the number of marks and the negative marks and all in this. The total marks and how it is divided. Paper, it's divided. You can see here, this is the examination pattern. So I told you there are 2 parts, part 1 and part 2. This is part 1, this is part 2, right? Then serial number I given. First serial number I given maths, subject is maths. In part 1, that's for IISc, that's second PUC. 20 questions are total, each carrying 1 mark. There are totally 20 questions will be there in part 1. For second PU students, it is each carrying 1 mark. The same thing in IISc part 2 is here. There are 15 marks, 15 questions, 1 mark each. You can take IISc together. So all IISc or second PUC questions will be carrying only 1 mark each, right? But first part you have 20 questions, second part you have 15 questions, right? But part 1 for essay you will have, that is first PUC students, first PUC syllabus or 11 syllabus, 10 questions with 2 mark each. Each question carrying 2 mark, you know already negative marking is 0.5 in this. Here negative marking is only 0.25 in this. Okay. For part 1 in essay or 11 syllabus, it is 10 questions, 2 mark each. And in part 2, you have 5 questions, 2 mark each. So 10 plus 5, 15 questions. You have 20 plus 15, you have 35 questions. For second PUC, you have 35. For first PUC, you have 15 questions. But in this, you have 2 mark for each first PUC or SS stream, you have 2 mark for each question, but 0.5 is deducted for wrong answer. But in SX, that is second PU syllabus, whatever stream you are writing, there 20 questions will be there, 1 mark each, 0.25 mark is deducted from the wrong answers. Right? Now, same thing for physics also. Part 1, you have SX syllabus, that is for the second PU syllabus, you have 20 questions with 1 mark each, and in second part, you have 15 questions, 1 mark each. But for first PU stream, you have 10 questions, 2 mark each. And second part, you have 5 questions, 2 mark each. Right? Wherever I am writing 2 mark, 0.5 is deducted for the wrong answer. Wherever I am writing 1 mark, it is 0.25 is deducted. So means only first PUC syllabus you take up, the questions will be less. 15 questions will be there. Some are carrying the 2 mark question, for each question 2 mark and 0.5 deduction for wrong answers. Therefore 10 plus 5 here for part 2. Then part 1, part 2 of SX will have 20 plus 15 questions. Then third one, it is biology, 20 questions in the first SX syllabus. You have 20 questions for 1 mark each. And part 2, you have 15 questions, 1 mark each. But in first PE syllabus, you have part 1, you have 10 questions for 2 marks. And in part 2, 5 questions of 2 marks. right? Same way, chemistry also. Part 1 in second PU syllabus, you have 20 questions. In second PU part 2, you have 15 questions. 1 mark each, 1 mark each, right? 0.25 is deducted for the negative marking. And the part 1, you have 10 questions. And part 2, you have 5 questions for first PU syllabus of the essay stream. So essay and SX, you need not to confuse. Essay is first PUC, SX is for the second. SB we are not bothering because it's a BSc examination. So essay, SX only you put it in your mind. So for essay, that is for first PU syllabus, you have totally 15 questions, each carrying 2 marks. Part A, you have 10 questions. Part B, you have 5 questions. In each of them, 2 marks will be awarded for the right answer and 0.5 mark is deducted from the wrong answer. But in essay stream, SX stream, the second PU or 12th standard syllabus, you have totally part 1, part 2. In part 1, you can see 20 questions. Part 2, you have 15 questions. Each one carrying 1 mark and negative marking only 0.25 mark is negative for each if it is a wrong answer. Okay, observing all the 4 streams, the same pattern is there, but one way you should write this. Better you have a screenshot. If you possible, you can take a screenshot. Okay, you just check the syllabus for biology. Okay, I'll be teaching you only about biological syllabus. I don't know about the other syllabus, you will get it in the website also. You just check with the other syllabus of physics, chemistry, and maths. As I can explain you something details about biology, I am giving you biology syllabus. So in essay stream and essay stream, so you see how critically they have mixed up the 2 things that you will not be in a position to write properly in first PUC when you are studying or 11th when you are studying. So you can see the syllabus. Essay stream, it is for the 11th standard stream. First chapter is reproduction, which you are not studying in first PUC. In 11th, you are not studying reproduction. It comes under second PUC syllabus. First chapter in the second PUC syllabus is reproduction. Therefore, the first chapter itself is reproduction, which is like you will not be able to write it. It's difficult for you, right? So therefore, first chapter you will not be able to write. But still, if you have studied already, if you have taken second piece, you can write it. Full second piece you have finished, and then you can even write essay and SX both of them, right? So it's very ideal to take up the examination after second PUC than first piece. During second piece you can take because exam is in January, right? That time you should take up the examination. By the time you would have finished the second piece syllabus, you can take up first piece, second piece syllabus together. Essay and SX both you can write, right? So then coming to the reproduction, this is a reproduction. Second chapter is life processes. Life processes you all know. That is almost like human physiology. Life processes, circulation, respiration, digestion, everything. Human physiology will add up there. Right? Then comes cell structure and function. That is about the cytology, which you are studying in the first PUC. Actually, from 10th, you would have studied some of the life processes and all. I hope so. Right? So, cell biology, that is cytology, the plant cell, animal cell, prokaryotic cell, eukaryotic cell, and cell organelles like mitochondria, chloroplast, then endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi bodies, and centrioles, that is centrosome. Then about the different spindle fibers, how are they formed, cell division, everything coming to cells, that is cytology. So that is a simple thing, first piece you would have studied it, right? Then comes human physiology, complete human physiology in detail from the digestion till circulation, respiration, excretion, nervous system, conduction of nerve impulses, chemical coordination, locomotion, and movements. Everything come under human physiology. So you can see how they have given weightage. Human physiology is given a lot of weightage along with cell biology and all, like less importance for the others. So major key chapters will be normally human physiology and plant physiology and cell biology, understand, and genetics. They are very important for. That's the reason whenever I do in the class and all, I'll give more stress on human physiology, plant physiology, and cell biology and genetics. That's why you can see here also because I'll after this next unit and all, I'll explain you some of the question papers I will solve so that you will identify what is the way they have given more stress on particular chapter, what is the weightage of chapters. Although they given syllabus like this, weightage will be on very technical chapters only. Okay, fine. Let's just go through next one. So then comes the heredity and evolution. Heredity and evolution is there in again second PUC. That's in 12th standard. Mendelian inheritance you have, complete heredity, sex-linked inheritance, sex determination, then about the multiple alleles, pleiotropy, and then about the different chromosomal disorders, genetic disorders, everything come under heredity, mutations. Then evolution also is in second PhD. Evolution starting from the origin of life, origin of earth, then Lamarckism, Darwinism, and all the paleontological evidences, all that comes under evolution, which is in second years, right? Then comes plant physiology, which is start plant water relations, the water transport, then the ascent of sap, then transpiration, guttation, then mineral absorption, mineral nutrition, then living this, bioenergetics, photosynthesis, respiration. This is the first PhD part, right? So give that importance to that important chapter also. Then diversity of living organisms, where you are going to learn how is the classification and what is the diversification of the living organisms. Then comes our environment, almost we studied in second PhD, and ecosystem ecology, all that. Then control and coordination, plants and animals, almost like a nervous system. How are they controlled and what is the chemical coordination, neural coordination, everything you have to learn in this. Okay. So this is about the essay type exam. Essay means 11th examination. First PhD exam. Test paper stream will be like this, biological stream. Other streams you can go through that. Okay. Let's go to the second years in a IISc syllabus. Right? IISc stream. What is there? That I will. Okay, you can go through, all of you can go through the syllabus given for second PUC. So what is the second PUC? That is the stream, that is a sex stream. That's for 12th standard stream. So if you take up 12th, after 12th, it is more ideal because almost the things are combined in this. Okay, the units which you are studying in essay stream also is there in this, right? Therefore, you will better it is to take up after PUC, second PUC, right? So what is the first syllabus? That is the first chapter is diversity of living organisms from the first piece you are taking it here. Second is about the life process. Again, it's from the first PUC. So you just check from where they are picked up. It's from the first PUC. Genetics and evolution you are studying in the second PUC. Mendelian inheritance, molecular biology, whole thing under genetics. Then evolution, full evolution. Because it's all in 12th exam, 12th paper books only, NCERT textbook it is there. Then cell structure and function from again first PUC. See how you are dividing it. So this is from first PUC. This is from first PUC. This is from second PUC. This is from first PUC. Plant physiology is from first PUC. Reproduction is from second PUC. Human physiology is from the first PUC. Human welfare from second PUC. This is from first PUC. This is from second PUC. See how they are covered. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 chapter from second PUC. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are from first year. These are from the second years. See how they have taken up this syllabus. You can observe. First unit, it is for diversity of living organisms. It is there in first PUC. We are studying that in the first unit only. Second, life processes. It's in the 11th standard of the first PUC only, where you are learning all the life processes, including digestion to the locomotion. Then comes genetics and evolution. This is second PU portion. You are studying in detail. Already I told you. Under molecular biology, additional thing you have to learn in this genetics. You are learning from DNA, RNA, replication of DNA, DNA is hereditary material, protein synthesis. Then the genetic code. Then Lacoperon concept, human genome project, genetic engineering. Sorry, the DNA fingerprinting, all molecular biology. Okay. Then in that only you are learning biotechnology also, right? In this heredity and evolution, the genetics. Cell structure and function, you are learning complete cell biology, cell structure and function. That is cell biology from the first PUC. Then plant physiology, again I told you already, from the plant water relations to the photosynthesis, respiration, mineral absorption, everything, right? Then reproduction is the second PhD part, where you are learning about the reproduction in organisms, reproduction in plants, reproduction in humans, and reproductive health. All four come under this. Then human physiology, again, life process, human physiology, almost the details of that you are learning in human physiology, means how the functioning happens. Life processes, this slightly basic level, human physiology, or will be learning exactly double circulation and process of digestion, various enzymes, various hormones, and then what is the way how they are digesting the these various type of substrates, and what is double circulation, then what is about the respiration, details of carbon dioxide and oxygen transportation and excretion. Then nerve conduction, conduction of nerve impulses, brain structure, everything in human physiology. Human biology and human welfare. You are learning all in this in second years. That's about the various types of immunity, diseases, and cause disease causing organism, types of diseases, and disease causing organism like microbial diseases, hereditary diseases, and non-hereditary diseases. Then immunity, all that under the biology and human welfare. Okay, biology and human welfare, where you are even learning the complete of microbes in human welfare, all that you will be learning this. It's the second viewpoint. Then control and coordination of animals and plants, ecology and environment. So these are all which we have learned some of them in the first years. The concept is taken from second PUC and you will be learning all in it. Therefore, when you are in first PUC, only start very serious. Studying seriously is very important. Right? Don't think, okay, first PUC somehow, that time has gone now. Earlier they used to say first PUC or Rama get they will be learning around, moving around, and suddenly second PUC they become serious. But first PUC part is gone already, right? So a lot of things you can see, weightage is there for the first PUC syllabus also. 11th, 12th, together they made a syllabus. So this is a important thing what you have to learn in detail. So this is what chapter wise I can give you, even the question paper wise I can solve this, right? Question paper wise you solve, then only you will understand what is the weightage, which chapters are given more weightage in every year, right? So let us go through that once I start with the question answer. Today only I'm giving you introduction to KVPY examination and its syllabus. Okay, just go through it. Students, you know one thing, this KVPY is a fellowship program, right? Where the students who are doing research will be given with some amount, that's a fellowship, right? And one important thing is they'll give one KVPY identity card. They'll give you, you are a student of KVPY or Indian Science, you are studying that program. What happens is with that you can use any libraries, national level libraries, international books or libraries, and it's like a library card, and also use any scientific lab facilities wherever it is available in Bangalore or every area in the whole of India. You can use that card and use the lab facilities. So it's like making you get into the pure science and do the research by giving you fellowship also and special ID cards they will give you. So you'll be wondering, so much they are doing for you, just clearing the examination and getting good rank, you can become scientist. Like you need not much struggle. They will only provide you some fellowship. On that fellowship, with that fellowship, you can study, get PhD also. Because after PUC, you get entry, you will get into BSc 1, 2, 3, then you will be getting into directly MSc, integrated MSc. It's called integrated MSc, right? Integrated BSc and research program test. Then they'll be providing you monthly for the first one and third, first year, second year, third year BSc. Means after PUC you will be getting into BSc. In integrated BSc, you will be having first year, second year, third year, 3 years, right? There you will be given monthly of the amount 5,000 per month. 5,000 you only get the fellowship, and annual contingency fund grant they will give you 20,000 rupees per year. 20,000 rupees they'll give you first year, second year, third year, 3 years. If they'll give you 20,000 as the grant, that's annual grant they'll give you. But every month you will be getting fellowship of 5,000 rupees. Then once you finish the BSc and go to MSc, then that is MSc 1, 4th and 5th year, right? Because 3 years BSc are finished. Now MSc 4th and 5th year, you will be learning. There the amount will be raised. It will be per month given as 7,000 rupees as the fellowship, and annual grant will be given as 28,000. So you just have to really be happy that so much protsahan is given for studying science. They will give you fellowship, they will give everything, they will give you the ID cards to use everywhere, lab facilities, everything. Only thing is you have to use your brain and work on that, right? Because I've observed, brains are so cute, so brilliant. If they get into that, they'll really flourish well, right? You have seen anybody who has done his PhD from IISc, people, they look like this. Why? Because it has some different level. It has that particular respect, right? So you need to work for it and get it, right? So go through that. I given it in the table. Just watch it. How it is given, how much there will be contingency, right? You can observe that basic science, that is SA stream. First is SA stream and SX stream. During BSc first to third year, they will give Indian rupees 5,000 as a monthly fellowship, and annual contingency will give Indian rupees 20,000. This is an annual contingency grant. Then second SASX stream, both of them during their MSc fourth and fifth year of integrated MSc, per month they'll get 7,000 rupees and annual contingency is 28,000 rupees. Right? So it's such a wonderful program. Right? Then apart from that, one more thing is this grant will be continuously given to you if you maintain every year minimum first class result. You are not supposed to happily, okay, I entered, I'll be getting, no. Every year you should be more than 60%. Means first class you have to maintain throughout. Then only you will be given with the contingency. Otherwise, if your percentage drops, contingency may stop. But anyway, it's not the scaring thing. But what I'm saying is, so much they are giving you promotion for studying science, basic science, doing research and that. So why don't you make use of all this? It's a wonderful program. All of you have to get into this. Some of the papers I'll give you, then you will feel it's so easy, man. It's very simple and nicely you can study it, right? So I want you to take up this examination, not just because of the mind, not just because of anything. It is a real science in your mind and applying science for the human welfare, right? Then you can be a good and great scientist from IISc. IISc outputs have got a different respect, right? So I hope my information given to you is useful and you are supposed to get more information. Then you keep watching every week, one at least I'll solve the paper, one or two papers, and I'll give you information about how and what way they are asking questions, what are the chapters that are important, which chapters you have to give weightage, and how to study, how to plan for the study. Okay, just be with the subject and understand. Subscribe it every time you can get the information about it. Okay, I'll be leaving in the YouTube. After that, just go through, give information to all of your friends, get subscription. And apart from not only I'm just advertising, it is basic information required to all, and it is to make the budding scientists, right? So I feel very happy if from your 11th 12th I make information, I give you information how to become scientist. I feel it's very nice for you and for me. I feel very happy to talk about this chapter, this unit, this program. Okay, so make use of this. See you then. Bye. Namaste.